Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about season 1 of Dexter. I know I'm 19 years late, but it's better than never, I guess. So I, Momo, it's hard to film a video when you're right in front of my microphone. It's kind of hard to. So I started this show because I heard that they're going to make a new Dexter, and there's also a prequel out now. So I thought I'd get on the hype train. And what do I think so far? I like it. I think it's a pretty good show. It's pretty disturbing. My dad likes it too, but he thinks some of the scenes are a little too gruesome, and the whole premise is a bit intense. I think this premise of a serial killer who goes after other serial killers, kind of puts a nice little spin on cop show drama. I feel like a lot of these, Mama, getting hair on my mouth. A lot of these cop dramas could get formulaic, you know, like an episode of CSI or an episode of Law and Order. It just feels redundant and the same. And I don't know, this takes a whole new spin on it. I guess not a new spin because the show's 19 years old, but it ages pretty well. I feel like some people are afraid to watch shows from a while ago. I don't understand it. There's a reason why movies and TV shows are so well looked upon decades after they air. I'm gonna definitely say why Dexter's still on. I'm kind of confused as to what the show does in so many seasons, because they have 8 seasons, they have New Blood, they have Original Sin, and then they have Resurrection coming out later this year. And I'm like, how much could you go with this premise? But this video is just talking about season 1. So Dexter as a character, very intriguing. I think Michael C. Hall does a great performance as Dexter. Very disturbing creature, very disturbed man. He has a lot of PTSD, a lot of repressed memories like Sherlock Holmes does. And he's kind of like a sociopath, though we find out that he does really care about Deborah, so he does have the capacity to love. It's just he's very bad at showing it, or at least admitting that to himself. He's very closed off emotionally, I would say, but he puts on his facade for everybody else. The whole time you're watching the show, you're like, does he actually care, or is he just faking it? And like 90% of the time, he's faking it. But then you get these little moments that show that he actually does care about other people. Like when he refused to kill Deborah, or when he let all those immigrants out of that shed thing. But you have some level of humanity, though. Also, like, if he kills other bad people, like, is that really a bad thing? I think the new season he should get his hands on the Epstein files, or the Diddy list. Then nobody would be in movies anymore because they'd all be dead. The villains in this season are also pretty good too. There's the couple who kept all those immigrants in the shed and was killing them. They were pretty fucking weird. There's that teenager who's like has the makings of a serial killer, but then he kills himself. So I guess he isn't. There's Denise Crosby from Star Trek: The Next Generation, Dexter's first kill. And of course, the big bad of the season, the ice truck killer. So that he's pretending to be this amputee doctor who starts dating Deborah, and my dad called her after the bat oh, he's the killer, because he seems too good to be true, too nice of a guy in a show like this. And I like how they didn't wait until the end of the season to reveal that. They kind of revealed it at episode 9, I think. And I think that's a smart move, because it would have been way too obvious if they kept going with it. And also had more avenues to take the characters. So I thought that was a good move in revealing it at the midpoint of the season. He is one creepy motherfucker. He is Dexter's long lost brother, and both of their moms. The mom was killed by a chainsaw. It's like a soap opera when I'm talking about it out loud like this, but it's better than a soap opera. But yeah, he's such a weird character. Like he cuts people's arms off and then charges them to make new ones. So that's kind of strange. I mean, it's a good business model because he made the new leg for that one guy. So yay, I guess, breaking it in. Then he like goes to the trouble of dating Deb, like proposes to her in front of nobody just so he could kidnap her. Like, he just did that to fuck with her? What was the goal here? You know, why did he bother proposing and buying a ring and putting on a suit? I don't really know why he did that. Scenes with Dexter, like, after he finds out who he is, all some intense scenes. I really like them, and he's like, join me. You know, there are only two, no more, no less. Uh, join the Sith. But Dexter realizes, you know, he does love his brother on some level, but also he loves his sister more, and he doesn't want to cut her up into multiple pieces, so he kills his brother. That's a good way to end the season, and it kind of blows the lines as to like how good or bad of a person Dexter is. I think it's a little odd that both of these guys had the same traumatic response to getting to the seeing their mom cut up by a chainsaw is to become serial killers. It doesn't like what are the odds of that? You know, a lot of people have PTSD, but they don't become serial killers. So what are the odds of both of those kids witnessing the same event becoming serial? I don't know. Seems a little far fetched, but it's still good television, so I'm gonna roll with it. Okay, what do I think of the rest of the cast? Here we go. We have Rita, Dexter's girlfriend, who is very unclear as to the extent to which Dexter cares about her. Like he lies to him. I think he lies to himself and us, saying like, "I don't really care about Rita, but it's he does like her." I feel like he didn't need to go through all this if he didn't like her on some level. Like I said earlier, I feel like he does have feelings. He just doesn't want to express them. Like he doesn't want to admit to himself that he does have feelings. Rita kind of has some PTSD as well because of her abusive husband, you know, Jacob from Lost. So the guy from Lost gets out of prison, starts like beating her up, and she hits him with a frying pan. But now they're gonna avoid that. They're gonna take the kids from her for that. Oh no, she didn't hit him with a frying pan. She hit him with a baseball bat. So now they're going to take the kids from her because he did that. And Dexter solves the problem by hitting him with a frying pan. So he gets hit with two heavy objects in the span of like 3 episodes. And gets him sent to prison by implanting heroin in him. It would have been easy for him to just kill him. But I guess this was a good choice as well. Turns out Rita finds out that Dexter did that because he finds the guy from Lost's shoe in the backyard. So that leaves up all these new questions for next season. But I feel like there's a way to just say, like, you left that shoe there on purpose, so I would believe you over Dexter. You know, there's a way to skittle around that. Like, those 9 seasons of this, I feel like they're not going to reveal to the world that he's a serial killer this early on. But my thoughts on Rita, she's cool, I guess. She's not my favorite character, but I like how she's able to find her voice throughout the season. At the beginning, she's kind of timid, and by the end, she's good at standing up for herself. Let's move on to my favorite character of the series, Deb. She's number one. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I don't really go online and see people's reviews of Dexter because I don't want to get spoiled. Do people like Deb? I think she's great. I think the actress does a great job, and she has this warmth about her that I really appreciate. She seems like a real person. Like the way she talks, I don't know, just it seems like she isn't acting. It seems like she's actually a person you know. She also, at the beginning, has trouble speaking her mind. Kind of, she's like a new officer on the force. And she later becomes more confident in her abilities as a police officer throughout the season. Though she doesn't really catch the signs that her boyfriend's a serial killer. Also, like, who would? You know, I can't really blame her for that one. Not really something you'd expect. But he did have like a refrigerator and a huge walk-in refrigerator in his house, and she doesn't really question that. I guess he could have looked into that more. But I think she provides a strong foil to Dexter because while Dexter's very closed off, she's a lot more open with her emotions. She's a lot more free spirited in a way. If it was called Deborah, I'd watch it. If it was from her perspective and there was no serial killer main character, I'd still watch it. I don't know, she's just a very likable character. Moving on to Sergeant Dokes. Is he a sergeant or an officer or detective? I don't know. Dokes. He's a fun character to watch because he's the only one in the series to like not trust Dexter. Everybody else likes him. Everybody else is his friend, but he kind of is suspicious of him. He could see through his facade of being a normal person, and I'm very interested in seeing where that goes because now like he's like full on stalking him, and I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. It has somewhat of a mysterious past, like he was in like the Black Ops or Special Forces or something in the past, and that's why he killed that one guy because he's someone from the past or something. They don't really give us that many details on him, but I feel like there's a lot more to Dokes than meets the eye, and I find that really interesting. On to LaGuardia. Is that her name or is that the name of an airport? LaGuardia, Maria. So she is Dexter and Deborah's boss, and at first I didn't really like her that much because she's like mean to Deb, and I don't like anybody who's mean to Deb. But later she gets more fleshed out, and you see a lot more humanity to her. Like when she thought about adopting that kid, it shows that she's a good person, just kind of a hard boss. And also her standing up for himself against her even rules boss. I think that's the key to making like a character. If you have an unlikable character, you have to put him against an even more unlikable character. So her boss is worse than her, which makes me sad with her more. So yeah, Maria, I started off not liking you, but by the end of the season, you're pretty cool. You're alright. Okay, we have Angel Batista. He's he's interesting, I guess. I don't really have much to say about him. I feel like he cheated on his wife and she divorced him, which isn't really a good move. But he's trying to get back into her good graces. It's not really working out well. But he seems really remorseful. So I hope he finds happiness some way. Moving on to Dexter's dad, Harry Morgan. He's kind of creepy. I wouldn't be surprised if he killed people too. Like if he like kills people, other bad people. If he's just like Dexter in a way. But he taught Dexter the code. A man's gotta have a code. We see him through flashbacks, so what we see of him is only through Dexter's memory of him. So what he was really like on the job, we don't really know. So that's all of that's up to our interpretation. But I like the actor, and he kind of makes me uncomfortable when I watch him. So he's doing his job well, I guess. That's pretty much all I have to say on Dexter. I think it starts off good, but the last like 3 episodes, it gets like really good. So if you watch the first few episodes and you're like, I don't know if it's for me, maybe stick to the end of the season, because I think the season finale is definitely the best of the bunch. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you think about season 1 of Dexter? Please let me know in the comments down below. Do not spoil seasons 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, New Blood or Original Sin, or I will come to your house and kill you with my piano viol and cellophane wrap. Anyway, bye.